Back here. There must be trouble. Gotta go find Classify. Mr. Classify, everything alright?
Unfortunately not. Thank you for coming here. We have an important message coming soon.
Hold on. For some reason, I'm randomly getting all these flashbacks of my Wi-Fi journey from when we started in the SCDA and our first ever game. We got 6 kills with booster speed, bulk up, Great Tusk. Also, being able to participate in the BBRD League twice, where I had an amazing time. Sunflower the Terra Chiyu and Orion the Terra Necrozma will always be remembered. We've also had the opportunity to participate in the WPF's first ever Wi-Fi division, and we've been participating there ever since. And I cannot forget my greatest moment in Generation 9, CMM Week 3, where I faced Playmore Esports, coached by General Tarheel, PM7, and Tyler, and we defeated the virus. The reason this game meant so much was because PM7's Discord community was where I met some friends that actually introduced me into playing Pokemon Draft League back in quarantine during 2020, and this game has created history because no one will ever forget the Defense Curl Pecharunt. And I was also given the amazing opportunity to create my own Wi-Fi draft league called UPA, the Uber Pokemon Association.
Yes, I agree, Sep. We've been through a lot. However, we've got bigger things coming.
Alert, alert, important message incoming. Alert, alert.
Hello? What's up?
I have an important message for the Secret Agent Pokemon Society, also known as the SAPS. Is this the correct place?
Indeed it is.
Excellent. I've received an invite and a video from someone who wishes to remain anonymous. All he said was one last ride, and then he vanished. The invite was addressed to Sep. Here is the video.
What do you say, Sep? Want to go on one last ride?
You guys know my motto regarding Draft League. F it, we ball. Sign me up.
Right. I'll let them know that you're excited to participate. Thank you for your time.
Sep, what's up? Aren't you excited?
I am, but something's not adding up. Think of it. There's no way that I randomly get flashbacks towards the start of our Wi-Fi journey, and then randomly we get an invitation to a tournament that all we know is one last ride. I saw on the invite that this is a big tournament to end off Generation 9 in a bang. I don't think that was just coincidence, right? It's like they knew that you guys would be in trouble, and your last resort would be ask me for help. And then there's a letter that is specifically addressed to me?
Whoa, am I not supposed to be the calm, certified, and classified one?
Classify, I know how I can solve this.
No, Sep. You just got back from WPF.
I know, but it's the only way. Just gotta put in these coordinates here and whoosh! Man, I love my class device. Get it? Classify and device, since he made it? Ha ha ha, I'm hilarious. Alright, looks like I'm here. Time to lock in and figure out how to win. So, it seems that OLR is the normal rules, but we are separated into 4 different draft pools, and it's an 8-mon tournament. Thankfully, I've played in a lot of team tours, so I shall be able to succeed here. I was given the 6th pick out of 8 in my pool, I knew which 5 Pokemon I wanted. Either one of the top 3 in Tusk, Valiant, and Meow. I'd also be glad if I was able to get Terapagos or Terra Raging Bolt to start off the team. After 5 picks went by, it was our turn to draft, and I was able to choose between Terapagos and Great Tusk, and randomly receiving those flashbacks of Great Tusk sweeping our first Wi-Fi game could not just be a coincidence. So, we decided to end Generation 9 the same way we started Generation 9, in picking Great Tusk. Great Tusk's name does it justice because it is a great Pokemon. It has a very unique typing by being the only ground and fighting type in existence. It also has amazing utility like Knockoff, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Taunt, and Roar. It also has access to powerful moves like Close Combat, Headlong Rush, Earthquake, Ice Spinner, and Stone Edge for those pesky flying and bug types. Great Tusk doesn't stop there. It has an amazing ability in Photosynthesis. If Great Tusk is holding a booster energy or is in Sun, it boosts whichever stat is the highest, and it would gain a 1.3 times boost except for speed, which would gain a 1.5 times boost. Overall, Great Tusk was the Pokemon we started our Wi-Fi journey with, and that's who we're gonna finish Generation 9 with. Next, I decided to grab another one of my favorite Pokemon this generation, Goldengo. Gold is an amazing defensive backbone and amazing special breaker. This Pokemon has the unique ability Good as Gold, meaning it is immune to all status moves like Trick, Encore, Thunder Wave, and Defog, allowing it to prevent removal from the opponent the entire game. We get up rocks with Tusk. They're staying up unless they can defeat Goldengo, but that is very difficult to do due to Goldengo having access to recover and just heal up all the damage it has taken. It has access to Thunder Wave, paralyze the opponents, and Nasty Plot Gold is a very dangerous Pokemon to deal with, mainly if it is set up behind webs, which I'll get into a bit later. But yeah, Goldengo is such an amazing Pokemon, and Tusk and Goldengo are two of the greatest glue pieces a team can ask for. Now, let me introduce you to our next Pokemon. He is a fan favorite of mine on the channel. Please welcome Awakened the Walking Wake, which is our first Terra Captain, meaning we used 16 of our 28 points on Terra, which is honestly fine. I low-key thought Terra Wake was cheap at 16, so I knew I had to grab it. Plus, this Pokemon is my favorite Terra Captain this generation, and it felt fitting to end off the generation with it. Terra Water Hydro Steam in Sun nukes opponents, and Terra Blast can help Wake gain some extra coverage if needed. Regardless, Terra Wake is amazing, and I'm so excited to use him on this team. Now, after drafting Terra Wake, I knew I had to get Sun, but I waited a little bit longer before I got my Sun Setter, but I knew I was getting one later in the draft. Here, I mentioned it before, but Webs with Gold is an amazing combination, so I decided to grab Ribombee. Ribombee gives me an elite speed tier and webs. This Pokemon assists with our speed control. For example, Meowscarada outruns Wake guaranteed, But, for example, Meow has to choose if it wants to be Boots for the sticky webs, or if it wants to be Scarf for Proto Speed Walking Wake. Ribombee adds a lot of utility to the team, gives me a Fairy type, and allows our teammates Grey Tusk, Golden Go, and Walking Wake to become greater than they already are. Next, I mainly wanted to invest in getting spikes. I felt having a reliable spike setter can assist our team while we have Golden Go to prevent removal of any kind from the opponent. So, we decided to grab Terra Deoxys-Defense. Now, this may seem like a weird pick, but it honestly is very good. First off, I wanted to mention this was not intentional, but DoD was the first Pokemon I ever drafted in my draft league career, and using it in the final tournament of Scarlet and Violet makes it feel special in a way. Second, someone told me Terra DoD can act as a defensive check to any scary threat I'm afraid of, which is great in 8mon. Since there are fewer mons to be afraid of, it helps nailing down the scary threats easier. DoD has access to Spikes, Rocks, Teleport, Dual Screens, Psychic, Noise, Thunderwave, Haunt, and Recover. If abusing Terra, it can also be used as a Calm Mind sweeper potentially. Overall, I am very excited to use Deoxys-Defense on this team. Remember when I said I wanted a Sunsetter? Well, this round I had to bite the bullet, and we got Ninetales. Ninetales pairs with this team extremely well, having access to Drought, setting Sun on entry, and having utility like Encore, Baton Pass, Memento, and most importantly, Healing Wish. Now yes, by using Healing Wish, we remove our Sunsetter for the rest of the game. However, if I am holding the Heat Rock and know I can end the game in 8 turns, it's really good. Ninetales can Healing Wish into our scary threats when they get low. For example, Husk, Wake, and DoD. If they get low and I preserve them, we can basically bring them back to full HP and, once again, cause more havoc. Ninetales was a crucial piece to this team, and I'm interested to see what it does. Now we're at the point of the draft where picks usually fall off. However, I believe our last 2 picks are still solid. I waited this long because I knew no one else would snipe me. So, I decided to grab Zarude. Zarude pairs well with Sun thanks to Leaf Guard, meaning I cannot get status if sunlight is up, which is probably gonna happen thanks to Ninetales' Drought, especially if it's holding the Heat Rock. Zarude can break bulky waters Wake doesn't want to deal with, and it can break opposing ghosts that want to spin block Great Tusk. Zarude can be a good Scarfer, good defensive mon with Synthesis, and more. It gets access to moves like Encore, Knockoff, Haunt, U-Turn, Swords Dance, and Trailblaze. Even without Terra, Zarude can be a scary threat for our opponents. And finally, our last Pokemon. I was gonna get Lycanroc Midnight, but unfortunately, in 8mon, grounded poison types are a necessity. So, we decided to go with Arbok as our last pick. It has useful stuff: Intimidate, Knockoff, Glare, Haze, Pain Split, and Dragon Tail. Arbok may come to a few games because Wake and Deoxys really do not want to deal with toxic spikes. And that is it for the draft. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know I am very excited to use this team. Oh, it seems they just released the battle pools. Let me see who I'm facing. Oh, well, isn't that just great? Davion, Uzi, and Owen. The challenge has just begun. We need to either go 3-0 or 2-1 to move on to the bracket stage. I believe we can do it. That's gonna be it for this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, my subtitle squad, and to everyone else that's watching, thank you.